guys, welcome back to Golly Garden and Homestead. I'm Christina. I'm a gardener, I'm an herbalist, and I am a future homesteader in Virginia in Zone 7B. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so grateful that you decided to join me today, and you decided to join on the best day ever. Today, we are transplanting our first round of seedlings out. Now, we have started some seedlings and planted some things out already. We've planted out some strawberries. We planted out our onion starts. But today, and yesterday, I actually planted my peas. We're going to be planting out our lettuces and some of our cool weather crops. Today is the perfect day to do it. It is an overcast day. It's in the mid 50s. There's a little breeze out. It's important that we are not planting our seedlings out in the middle of the day in full sun. This is the worst way to plant. We will kill our seedlings. They are not ready for that. Our seedlings have been hardening off for the past couple of days. I've been bringing them out in the morning, and they've been staying outside throughout the entire evening, and I bring them inside once it gets dark. But last night I left them out all night. They're acclimated to the weather, so we are going to plant our lettuces and things out. We have our stuff mapped out already. I have not put it in our planter app, but what I did do was I went ahead and drew my layout of what the garden is going to look at. Like, this is the full beds that we are going to be using. This is not including all the grow bags, but that is the beds that we're going to be using. And then what I'm doing is also I'm going to break each page down individually, each bed down individually in a bigger scale, so I know exactly what is going where and in what area. The planter app does not allow us to do that. It allows us to put one plant in, but not multiple plants. It allows us to put one type of plant in a square foot. It does not allow for me to be able to put a tomato in a square foot and also an herb beside it, like a basil or something like that. So this is why I also draw this out. We also have our plant tags, but just in case our plant tags get lost, just in case for some reason our marker gets wiped off or something, I'm trying a new marker out this year. This is not just a Sharpie. This is an actual garden marker. So hopefully these work, but we're just in case these get lost, we will be able to know for the most part to differentiate the different types of lettuces, the different types of basil, because we're going to be growing multiple different varieties of multiple different things. We have our stuff, so let's get ready to go down into the garden and start planting our things off. This is the new size bed that we have, and this is 6x3. What I've done, since we don't have the wood beds anymore and we don't have our strings that are sectioning off our square foot, I've went ahead and I used my tape measure and I measured out the square foot for the lettuce starts that we're going to put in. So yesterday I came in and I planted 3 square foot of onions. Onions, and I did 4 per square foot. So we have 6 spaces for our lettuces: Butter Crunch, Romaine, Red Sails, and Bronze Beauty. I guess let's just take out our Red Sails first. Hey guys, these lettuces look so amazing. I'm so happy of how they came out. Look at that. Look at that. I've never grown something more beautiful from seed in my life. That is just so beautiful. Okay, so these are our red cells. And they have a little push hole at the bottom. We have 4 red cells in here. Y'all, I literally turned the camera the wrong way, so the aspect ratio was completely all off, like I was recording a short or something. So that footage is gone. It would look so weird of me trying to put that in here. But essentially what I was talking about while I was planting these lettuces out that you see already planted in was what I was putting in the holes, which if you've watched my other videos, then you know I add bone meal, blood meal, and some type of granulated fertilizer, usually plant tone. This time I'm using a Bonnie's raised bed, which was higher in the nitrogen, which is great for our leafy greens. I also added some worm castings inside of each of the holes, and now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to lay the lettuces out, because some will be bunched closer together within the square foot, like the Bronze Beauty. The Bronze Beauty, I believe I put about 11 in 1 square foot, as opposed to the red sales, which I only put 4 per square foot. And that's because of how I want to harvest. The red sales I will harvest as actual heads, and then the Bronze Beauty will be the cut and come again method, which means I can space them closer together. And now that the plants have been in the ground for a few weeks and I'm looking at the growth, I really love how I space the cut and come again together. I'm really excited about this growing season. I feel like every season I'm learning more and I'm growing literally and figuratively. What just happened? Oh, okay. Yeah, literally and figuratively. I don't know why this one. No, yeah. And I can see it in my plants. Just how much more they're flourishing this year. I mean, they looked good last year too, but I feel like maybe sometimes we get like amnesia and forget, especially when you're like on social media and you see other people's plants and you're like, well, dang, my plants don't look like that, until you go back and look at your pictures. So I feel like it's so important, whether or not you are like documenting your garden journey for other people to see and you have like your own channel, I feel like it's important to document it, at least for yourself, so you can go back and see. So when you see other people have like farms and farms of all this stuff, like they're like, oh, I got 50 pounds of potatoes this year, and you're just like, well, dang, what am I doing wrong? We have to make sure that we remember that the grass is green where we water it. And if we water our grass, if we water our plants, they will be green there too. So I had to remind myself of that. And I went back and I was looking at all the stuff that I grew during the summer and how things were flourishing, because I feel like every summer I'm always like, oh my gosh, nothing's gonna grow in my yard because I have all these trees and I only get a couple of hours of sun and all of these things. And then I go back and look and I'm just like, hold on, I grew purple cauliflower last year. I had a head of cauliflower. I I grew broccoli. I grew lots of tomatoes. I had so many little yellow pear tomatoes that I didn't know what to do with. And so I have to remind myself, just like you need to remind yourself. It's all a growing experience. Everyone's garden is different. Some people may have a smaller harvest than others, but you still are trying. That is the point. The point is to never give up, to keep trying. Our first year gardening, we bought all of our transplants from Lowe's. And because Bonnie and all of those places, they spray their plants down with heavy chemicals that are not organic. Well, of course, chemical, not organic. But because they spray their things down, of course your plants are going to look smaller compared to theirs if you're doing organic gardening. So you can't beat yourself up about it. You just grow what you can grow and continue to learn. Notate and journal, whether you're physically writing it down or whether you are recording it, so you can see, okay, this worked for me and this didn't work for me. I will try this again next year, but maybe this coming year I won't grow this particular tomato. So it's good to notate what works well, what went bad, why you think it went well, what did you do, how did you feed them, when did you start your seeds, how often you're fertilizing that. And that's something that I'm really trying to get better at. That is it for that tray right there. We are going to take our calendula back up on the porch and get our next set of lettuces. All right, we've got our next tray, and all of this is lettuce except for like 3 spots, which is cardoon, which is a medicinal herb flower type thing. Hey, let's see. Yeah, what is this? Bronze Beauty. So let's start over here and get our Bronze Beauty out. So that's already 4 right there. And then I'll probably plant 4 right here and 4 right there. They gonna be in here tight. And that's a good thing about lettuce. We can do that. Plant them tight together. All right, I know you guys don't want to sit here and watch me just planting lettuce, so I'll put you guys on the time lapse, or I'll be back. I'll be back after I finish planting this up. All right, this bed is all planted out for today. We have our Bronze Beauty right here that we are going to use as a cut and come again method, so they are spaced closer together. We have some red sails back here. We did 5 in a square foot, 6 butter crunch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 4 in this square and then 2 in this square. And then since we only had 6 butter crunch, we used the 2 additional spaces in this square right here to put 2 Cimarron lettuces in. I have to count and see how many I have in here, but I think it's like 4, 8. I may have 12 plants in this 1 square foot right here, which is fine because that's going to be our cut and come again. We're not growing that for heads. We have our 4 romaine in this square foot, and then this square foot down here we have Cimarron, and I think we have 3, 6, we have 9 in this square. 2 squares that we're using right here for our red cells. So we're growing a bunch of red cells, and they are like the biggest ones that I've grown so far. We replanted our Swiss chard. This is our Swiss chard from last year. So we replanted it. We took off all the dead stuff and just left the new growth in. We have one Ford hook chard, so we planted that in, and then we planted our new Swiss chard in the front. So we have 1, 2, 3 Swiss chard in the front that are just planted out that we started in January, and then we have 2 in the front right here, and then those 2 in the back are from last year. We still have 4 empty squares in here. I know 2 of them are going to be dedicated for cilantro and parsley, so I'm not sure what we're going to do with the other ones, but I also still have all of this cimarron left over, and I'm going to plant that over in the small square bed over there, because I know I put spaces in my layout for more lettuce over there. So I'm going to plant some lettuce over there. Yesterday I went ahead and put my little trellis system in, and all I did was get some T-post. I think that's what it's called. I had T-post already, so I ordered this netting. I believe last year I ordered this netting from Temu, and I still have a bunch more. Like, I could probably do netting on all of the beds if I wanted to. So all I did was stuck it down into the bed and attached the netting around it, and then I went ahead and planted pea seeds all down this edging so the peas can trellis up this. So I planted 40 pea seeds. I actually did 20 holes, but I did 2 seedlings per hole, just in case one of them don't come up. Then we'll have a whole row of 20 peas right here, adjacent from each other. I did, is that adjacent or parallel? I don't know. Told you math ain't my thing. I did early perfection peas. So I think I did 4 on the edge right here, which was ended up being 8 because I planted 2 per hole, and then 4 on the edge right here for 2 per hole. This is how we maximize our space. And in this square foot that's right here, and in this square foot right here, beside the peas are going to be winter squash. So I'm going to plant 1 winter squash in each square foot, but then we have peas that are going to be going along the edge of the bed, which will be trellised up over both sides. So this is how we're maximizing our space. If all of our peas actually germinate, then what we'll probably do is go ahead and thin them out, especially the one that has the 40. We'll probably thin those out. I have a lot of stuff that's going on this big arch trellis, the caterpillar trellis, so I probably will thin those ones out as well, but we'll see. We shall see. So I'm gonna go ahead, since I have lettuce in this bed over here, I'm gonna go ahead and plant more lettuce, because this bed is so, it's not deep at all, and lettuce are shallow rooted. After we finish planting the lettuce, then we can plant our brassicas, which are going to be our broccoli. I think we have some cauliflower. We're going to plant our Asian greens, so our bok choy, our pak choy, and our tatsoi. And I think that's it. And then we can go inside and start more seeds and pot up anything else that needs to be potted up, and look and see if our next set of plants are ready to start hardening off. So I'm excited about that. But we're also going to, after I plant everything, then I'm going to water everything in with our Alaska fish fertilizer. I also need to go through and I have more onion starts to plant. So I need to plant my onion starts also, but what I also want to do is go through and trim down any browning on the onion starts, because when I first got them, they were all green, but because they were out, I guess, for a while, they started to brown at the top. And per usual, I think I cut the camera off. I went in the house, started doing something else, and forgot that I was recording, forgot about planning the rest of these things. I don't know. You know, life just be lifing sometimes. And gardening is a full-time job. But you know what? They got planted eventually. So if you stayed this long, I just want to thank you for spending some time with me today. I want to thank you for those of you that have subscribed, that are liking our videos, that are commenting, that are sharing, that are coming back each week to just experience this journey with us. We really are so thankful and so grateful to be able to share our little piece of the world with you. If you did like this video, please make sure to like it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We thank you and we love you. Until next time, bye. We've never done a front yard tour because we don't grow anything in the front except for our Japanese maple that we planted. Here he comes, Chalky. Go ahead, girl. Did you teach her that? Good job, Munchkin. That's out of bounds. Go ahead, second base. Go ahead, go to ooh.
Keep going.
They're so silly. Don't throw it overhand, throw it underhand. Where's first base? This is first base? Where's first base?
Right there! Over there! Got you! Got you!
Keep going. Hit it. Keep going.
Good job.